The streets of Manila wake slowly under a blanket of gray morning mist. Jeepneys clatter over uneven asphalt, their horns cutting through the soft murmur of vendors preparing for the day. Somewhere between the corner store and the crowded alleyways, a young boy sits cross-legged on the cracked pavement. His guitar, worn and patched with tape, rests lightly against his knees. Its strings are old, but he plays it as if it were the most precious instrument in the world. He's barely 13. His school uniform is neatly folded beside him, the white shirt slightly stained from yesterday's lunch. His shoes are scuffed and too big, passed down from an older sibling. He does not care. His focus is on the guitar and the song in his heart. As he strums, the melody is soft, hesitant at first, but then his voice rises, clear and strong, filling the small street corner. There is something raw and unpolished about it, yet it carries a weight that belies his age. He is singing for no audience, and yet people start to stop. A vendor arranging mangoes on a cart freezes mid-motion, listening. A child playing with a stray puppy crouches nearby, ears perked. Even the traffic seems to slow, as if the city itself is pausing to hear him. Coins begin to clink into the plastic cup beside him, but he doesn't look at them. He is focused, entirely absorbed in the story of his song. Every note carries a memory, of nights spent hungry, of his mother working double shifts, of dreams too big for a small body. Beautiful, a passerby whispers, her eyes misting. She reaches into her pocket and drops a coin into the cup. The boy glances up briefly, offers a shy smile, then bows his head and continues. His fingers glide over the strings, producing a sound so hauntingly familiar it feels like the echo of a million untold stories. His music is a bridge between the struggles of the streets and the dreams of a child determined to rise above them. Across the street, his mother watches. Her hands are clasped together, knuckles white, as if in silent prayer. She's been through years of hardship, laboring under the sweltering sun, barely scraping by. She has dreamed every day for her son's success, every night hoping that his talent might one day pull them out of poverty. She doesn't speak. She simply watches, eyes glimmering with a mixture of pride, fear, and love. The boy finishes his first song. He sets the guitar down, wipes his brow with the back of his hand, and looks around. People who had stopped continue on their way, some smiling, some shaking their heads in wonder. He collects the coins in his cup, counting them quietly, careful not to disturb the fragile balance of hope and survival that defines each day. For him, these songs are more than music. They are a lifeline. Each note is a prayer, each chord a step closer to a dream he hardly dares to speak aloud. As the sun climbs higher, a group of children gathers around. They sit cross-legged on the ground, eyes wide, watching him play. He smiles, a little more confidently now, and begins another song, this time a faster tune, full of energy and mischief, like a spark of light cutting through the grayness of his surroundings. The children clap along, their laughter mingling with the melody, creating a soundscape that is at once joyful and bittersweet. By midday, a small crowd has gathered. Street vendors pause to listen, tuk-tuk drivers slow down, and passers-by stop, mesmerized by this tiny boy with a massive voice. Someone pulls out a phone, capturing a short video. Within minutes, it spreads across social media, strangers marveling at the talent that has emerged from the crowded streets of Manila. Yet the boy remains humble, oblivious to the attention. After the song ends, he sits quietly, resting his chin on his knees. He looks at his mother across the street. She nods slightly, and he gives a small, reassuring smile. They do not speak. Words are unnecessary. They have learned to communicate through moments like this. As evening falls, he packs up his guitar, carefully placing it in a worn bag. He walks home through narrow alleys, past the vendors closing up for the day, past the faint smells of street food and exhaust. He hums a tune softly to himself, imagining the day when he will perform not on a street corner, but on a stage with lights, cameras, and thousands of eyes watching him. When he reaches home, the small apartment is quiet. His younger sibling is asleep on a mat on the floor. His mother is preparing dinner, exhausted but smiling when she sees him. He sits beside her, takes her hand in his, and whispers a promise that only she can hear. "Mama, one day I'll sing on a big stage, so you won't have to cry anymore." She hugs him tightly, her eyes glistening with tears she refuses to shed in front of the world. The boy leans into her, feeling the weight of responsibility and the spark of hope within him. In that quiet moment, the dream is planted, A boy from the streets of Manila, small and barefoot, is ready to rise. And though the path ahead is uncertain, one thing is clear. The voice that carries the stories of hardship and hope is already destined for greatness. The lights of the America's Got Talent stage are blinding. A sea of cameras, flashing lights, and massive screens surrounds the stage, amplifying every movement, every heartbeat. The audience is buzzing, their murmurs echoing across the theater. Judges lean forward, hands clasped, eyes sharp, curious, skeptical, and ready to be impressed. Among them, Simon Cowell sits back in his chair, the king of scrutiny, his signature frown in place, trying to read the next act before it begins. From backstage, a hush falls. The announcer's voice echoes over the speakers. Next, a very special talent, all the way from Manila, Philippines. The audience leans forward. Cameras catch a small figure stepping into the light. A boy, barely 13, a school shirt tucked neatly into slightly worn trousers, his shoes scuffed, hands trembling slightly as he carries a battered guitar. He pauses, scanning the crowd nervously, taking in the grandeur of the stage, the thousands of eyes staring at him, the cameras zooming in on every detail. For a moment, the world seems too big, too bright, too loud. His chest tightens. He swallows. He remembers the streets of Manila, the honking jeepneys, the chatter of vendors, the tiny cracks in the pavement where he used to sit and sing. He thinks of his mother, working tirelessly to make ends meet, and of his little sibling, dreaming of a better life. "This is for you," he whispers softly to himself, almost inaudible over the microphone static. The judges watch, intrigued by his quiet demeanor. He's not flashy. He doesn't strut. He doesn't smile. He simply positions himself, adjusts the microphone, and takes a deep breath. "Why are you here today?" a judge asks, curiosity tinged with skepticism. The boy looks up, eyes shining, voice small but determined. "I sing, for my family, for my mama, for every child who dreams big." A soft murmur ripples through the audience. The sincerity in his tone is undeniable. This is not just another audition. It is a story unfolding before their eyes. He strums the first chord. It is soft, tentative, but perfect. The note lingers, vibrating in the theater like a heartbeat. Then his voice comes in. Clear, pure, heartbreaking, powerful beyond his years. Every word he sings carries the weight of the streets, of long nights under flickering streetlights, of mornings when hunger gnawed at his stomach. His voice tells stories of struggle and hope, fear and courage. The song builds slowly, each verse revealing more than just talent. It reveals the soul of a boy who has known hardship but refuses to let it define him. The judges lean in. Simon Cowell's eyes narrow, a flicker of something unspoken crossing his face. He's heard thousands of voices. He's heard talent, skill, charisma. But this is different, raw, honest, vulnerable. It pierces through the polished performances, through the stage lights and spectacle. The audience begins to rise, slowly at first, drawn in by the boy's magnetic presence. Some wipe tears from their eyes. Others clutch hands or grab loved ones, unable to look away. Cameras catch every detail, the quiver of his lips, the moisture gathering in his eyes, the tremor of his hands on the guitar. This is not just singing, this is storytelling through music, and the story is real. As the song reaches its bar, "Idge," the boy's voice rises to a soaring crescendo, filling every corner of the theater. It is pure emotion distilled into sound, hope, fear, longing, and courage all in one breathtaking moment. The audience is captivated, every eye glued to him. Simon leans forward now, resting his chin on his hand, eyes glistening with the weight of what he's witnessing. By the final note, silence hangs heavy for a heartbeat, an almost sacred pause. Then, the theater erupts. The audience leaps to their feet, applause shaking the walls, cheers and whistles echo. Judges are on their feet, faces wet with tears, unable to hide the storm of emotion surging through them. Simon wipes his face, a rare break in his stoic demeanor. The boy stands frozen for a moment, catching his breath, blinking in disbelief. He can't process the magnitude of what just happened. The audience's roar, the judge's standing ovation, it all feels like a dream. I just wanted to make you feel something," he says, voice barely audible over the cheering. The host steps forward, arms wide, inviting him to the center of the stage. The cameras pan across the crowd, capturing the standing ovation, the tears, the smiles, the stunned silence that followed his every note. This is the moment he has dreamed of. This is the moment that validates every hour of practice, every hardship endured, every fear faced. As the boy looks out over the crowd, he realizes something profound. This stage is not just a platform for talent. It is a bridge from the streets of Manila to the hearts of millions around the world. Every tear in the audience, every gasp of astonishment, every cheer, they are proof that his voice matters and his story matters. In that instant, nothing else exists. Not the lights, not the cameras, not even the immense pressure, just a boy, a guitar, and a song that has the power to change lives. The song has end. Dead. Silence hangs in the air for a fraction of a second, a fragile, suspended heartbeat before reality crashes back in. The audience, still on their feet, catches their collective breath, unsure whether to scream, cry, or simply stare in awe. Cameras zoom in on the judges, capturing a range of emotions: disbelief, tears, clenched hands, and mouths slightly open, as if the words to respond simply don't exist. Simon Cowell, ever the master of composed critique, is uncharacteristically speechless. His hand hovers near his chin, a tremor in his normally impassive features. A single tear escapes, trailing down his cheek. He quickly wipes it away, but the moment has been captured forever on live television. Behind him, the other judges exchange glances, the unspoken consensus clear: this is something extraordinary. The boy, standing center stage, still clutches his guitar. His chest heaves, not from exertion, but from the overwhelming weight of the moment. He can barely comprehend the applause, the standing ovation, the cheering audience. It is as if the universe itself has paused, giving him a stage he never imagined he would stand upon. Then comes the judge who will change everything. Rising from her seat, she approaches the golden buzzer with purpose. Her eyes meet his, and he sees in them not just admiration, but recognition, a validation of every hardship he has endured. The camera captures the slow, deliberate hand as it slams down on the button. Boom! The golden buzzer erupts in a flash of light and cascading confetti. Golden glitter fill the air like 1,000 tiny suns falling from above. The audience erupts again, louder this time, a tidal wave of emotion and energy. The boy collapses to his knees, overwhelmed by the sheer magnitude of the moment. Tears stream freely down his face, mixing with the sweat and dust of his journey from Manila's streets. His mate. Her rushes onto the stage, heart pounding, eyes wide with disbelief and pride. She wraps him in her arms, holding him as though she will never let go. Her tears fall freely, her laughter mingling with sobs. She whispers words of love and encouragement that only a mother can utter, her voice trembling. "You did it, Anak. You made it. I always knew you would." The boy presses his face into her shoulder, feeling the warmth, the comfort, the home he has carried with him in every song. The confetti swirls around them like a storm of dreams realized, a tangible manifestation of hope that now surrounds him. The judges rise, clapping, some wiping their own tears. Simon steps forward, hesitant, but compelled by the raw authenticity before him. He crouches slightly to meet the boy's gaze, speaking with the rare tenderness he reserves for moments that defy words. This is why this show exists. You've reminded all of us what it means to dream, to hope, to believe in something bigger than ourselves. What you just did, it wasn't just singing, it was magic. The boy looks up, overwhelmed, unable to form words. The cheers of the audience wash over him, the golden light glinting off the confetti, the cameras capturing every nuance, every heartbeat. He is a small figure in the vastness of the stage, yet in this moment, he feels like the center of the universe. The host steps forward, microphone in hand, beaming. "Ladies and gentlemen, we have witnessed a moment we will never forget. This young man from the streets of Manila has earned the golden buzzer and a place in the hearts of millions around the world." The crowd erupts once again, chants filling the theater. The boy stands, still shaking, his guitar in hand, and raises it as if it were a flag of triumph. He glances toward the camera, toward the millions watching at home, and whispers, almost to himself, "This is just the beginning." Backstage, the production crew exchanges knowing smiles. They have seen many talented performers, but something about this boy transcends talent. It is the story, the journey, the resilience, and the purity of his heart. The golden buzzer isn't just for the performance, it's for everything that brought him to this stage. The camera pans over the audience, capturing the awe, the tears, the smiles, and the applause that refuses to end. Judges continue to cheer, some embracing each other, some simply standing in stunned silence, acknowledging the gravity of what just happened. It is a moment frozen in time, a convergence of talent, emotion, and destiny. For the boy, the world has changed in an instant, from Manila's crowded streets, where he sang for coins and hope, to a stage of unimaginable grandeur. He has stepped into a new reality, one where dreams are no longer distant, where possibilities stretch far beyond what he ever imagined. And yet, in his heart, the boy remains the same, humble, driven, and deeply connected to the family and the streets that shaped him. As the confetti settles, the lights dim slightly, leaving the boy bathed in a golden glow. The judges approach to congratulate him, each handshake and hug reinforcing the message, "You belong here. The world needs your voice." The boy raises his guitar one last time, a silent salute to his journey, to his mother, to every obstacle he overcame. And as the camera pulls back, showing the vast stage, the cheering audience, and the sparkling confetti falling like rain, one truth is undeniable: this is not just a performance. It is a moment of destiny, a testament to hope, talent, and the extraordinary power of believing in oneself.